Boom, what up? I'm Deceiver. I have reached US Grandmaster multiple times, playing mainly Akali and LeBlanc. And in this video I want to show you guys some useful Akali tricks, or mechanics or combos, however you want to call them, that aren't very well known but are quite useful. I think if you want to maximize your Akali gameplay to its highest potential, I highly suggest you either learn these combos and tricks that I'm about to showcase, or at least keep them in mind when you play as or against Akali. Okay, now if you already paid attention in the first two clips, you can notice that I managed to cancel my E backflip animation by using flash. This is already one of, if not the most useful combos in today's video that I'm going to show you guys. I think it's extremely potent at surprising your enemies, and even makes you be able to combo your spells faster in general, since you don't have to wait for your E backflip to go through and thus waste time. Okay, so when it comes to the execution of the combo, it's kinda easier to execute than to explain it, because essentially there's three ways you can combine Akali's E and flash together. There's the E flash, which looks like this. There's the basic flash E, like that. Then there's the third option to E, make like a slight delay before you flash, and then it ends up looking like this, which cancels the backflip. And that's the combo I've been using in all those clips. Another reason why this combo is very strong is because it gets rid of the weird Akali E hitbox behind you, which looks like this. If you try to E this target, you're gonna kinda end up hitting the target behind you every time, whether it's a minion or a champion, even if you try to flash. But if you do the E delay flash, you can kinda get rid of this issue and just choose your target with E delay flash. Okay, to demonstrate one more time, here's a clip of me executing the combo to avoid hitting that minion behind me and surprise Nemesis on the Viger with it. You need to make sure that you practice the combo yourself first, because obviously my description, E, slight delay, then flash, is more of a feeling or a timing thing that you kinda just have to get used to yourself. Okay, next up is the mechanic where you can TP out while invis in your Shroud. I kinda use this combo often to escape, especially if you get caught in a side lane, which I do a lot. I think enemies rarely expect you to do this combo. Okay, when it comes to the execution, there's not much to say. You kinda just W and TP out. Like this. You just have to make sure that
no one tells me what to do.
You don't stand in the middle, since Akali Shroud spreads like a donut, so it could end up like this, where they see you and then that's a big oopsie. Also, TP is getting reworked next season, but this combo is still going to work just fine. The next combo is actually quite hard to execute, which is why people probably don't do it that often, if ever. As Akali, you can start your auto attack animation on your enemy, and as the auto is about to hit him, you flash out of your passive ring, which will turn that basic auto attack you channeled into an enhanced passive auto attack. I think this combo is useful in close fights where your next basic won't be enough damage to kill the enemy, but the enhanced basic would. Executing this combo, you kind of just auto and then flash out of the ring. It's kind of harder to execute than it sounds. Gonna have to get the hang of it yourself. You can also combo it with your Q for a fast combo like this. You can say that I fail it sometimes. Now probably the most known combo out of these on Akali is the R2 flash, which looks like this. I think everyone who plays Akali knows about this combo already, but I also want to mention it because I do use it quite often. Another thing is that your R2 hitbox is kind of wider than it should be, so you can kind of do something like this. When you take your E, you don't have to R into the tower, but can rather just run away with your R2. Another way to use R2 flash is to when you are, for example, tower diving and don't want to full commit, you can kind of just R2 and then flash out, so you don't full commit into the tower when you're about to execute someone. You can also combine it on R1. If you are, for example, like super caught and need to escape, you can use your R1 to channel your R2 and then escape with R2, for example. It's very niche, but it can save you. Now, another very useful combo that I barely ever see used is using your E and Shroud as an escape tool. It's kind of hard to explain a situation where this combo is good to use, but mainly if you want to get a cheeky kill on someone and get out ASAP before enemies collapse on you, this is the combo. Now, what makes this combo really strong in my opinion is the fact that you can get your R2 off before your E expires. So you can do it like this. Combo, you execute and then you still have time to go back. Up next I want to show some ways you can combine your E with different items that Akali buys, like Proto Belt and Hourglass. You can obviously cancel your E with Proto Belt, which is pretty good for baiting spells. A bit like Gragas E or Lissandra ult from enemy. And you can also use Zonya during your E2. This will make the E2 damage still go through. And I guess this is useful again. You can beat Gragas E, you can beat Azir ult, just to get the E damage off on top of them. Another very interesting mechanic is you can use your R2 and Proto Belt to kind of close the distance after you use your R2, like this. It kind of launches you towards the enemy. If you do it like this, you kind of have to walk back to the enemy sometimes, and it wastes a lot of time. But if you combine with Proto Belt, you can easily keep up to DPS. Just like that. Another very niche combo that you probably never seen is you can use your flash to make your E still hit. Like this. If you wonder where you can use this combo, well, you can just use it to, I guess, appear behind opponents, like this. Or if you're playing against, let's say, Veigar or Poppy, who spawn like a circle against them, either Veigar Cage or Poppy W. And if you eat through them, you're gonna get stunned or grounded. So you can use this combo to avoid that. It would make a pretty sick clip. But still, you can also combine it like this. Let's say you hit this target, but you want to focus this one. You can kind of just cancel out your E2 by flashing. Lastly, I want to mention that there are two ways that you can kind of get a double Q off on Akali with the cost of 1 Q only. But I don't consider it a combo really, it's more of a bug to me, so I don't really promote it that much. But still, I do sometimes get that cheeky double Q off on Akali in my ranked games, and hopefully Riot does not punish me for that. Well, anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys learned some useful new Akali tricks from me, and you can also support me by dropping a like or a sub if you want to. Bye bye.